Welcome, everyone. Hello, Prince Mark, father of Cauliflower Rogers. Hope you are having a good morning, afternoon, or evening. So today, we are playing Etrian Odyssey 3. For those of you who might not be familiar with the game, this is a classic dungeon crawler type experience. As you can see on the screen, we have this huge map of the dungeon to explore. And basically the goal is to make it all the way to the bottom. If you've never played a game like this before, the closest equivalent would probably be the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, where instead of having a completely randomized layout, every time you enter the dungeon, it is one super big mega dungeon that requires you to go back again and again in order to clear. You'll notice on the map there are various things marked down. For example, I've just discovered a mining point, which allows us to obtain some items, which we're able to sell for money, and then use to upgrade our armor and weapons. By the way, let me know how the audio is. I think this one is a little bit quieter than Duel Links, at least by default. So I've tried turning it up a little bit, but if it is too loud or too quiet, go ahead and definitely let me know. We are currently making our way down to the 8th floor. So these battles are not going to be particularly interesting until we get there. My team is definitely strong enough to just auto-battle through the standard enemies of this floor. So when constructing a party, you are able to bring in 5 team members. The class names are a little bit eccentric, but they do fit a pretty standard adventuring party. You have your fighter, your tank, mages, healers, etc. But you are only able to bring 5. My team is consisting of a tank, a melee damage dealer, a ranged damage dealer, and then 2 supports. Instead of a dedicated mage type healer, we are running the Sovereign, which is able to passively provide healing as we explore the dungeon, and then also recovers our party automatically at the end of every single turn. And then for our 5th slot, we are running the Farmer. Farmers have absolutely no combat utility, and instead are entirely focused on making it easier to navigate the dungeon. For example, when I am mining or gathering items, that is all thanks to the Farmer. Additionally, they are able to get me out of the dungeon if things get too difficult. Normally, you would need to bring in an item, which costs money and then is also in your inventory, taking up one of your many limited spaces. I accidentally ran into a big boss here, so we are just going to try to escape. Hopefully one of our attempts does work. There is a possibility I would be able to actually clear this out, but they are bulky enough that I feel like it would take me a ton of time. So I am just going to leave. But since I am emulating, I keep accidentally, well, okay, I'm not emulating, I am playing from my Switch, but there is delay from the Switch to the capture tool. So I keep accidentally turning twice when I'm only meaning to go one. Basically messing up as I try to rotate around. But we managed to escape again and make it down to the 8th floor. So now I just need to make it over to the boss. I had already scoped out their location earlier. But But before I can get to them, I'm going to need to dodge these monsters. So I'm going to wait for them to do their rotation, and then I will follow behind them. And encounter not so bad. The big starfish do have the ability to call in other members of, call in other enemies and cause me issues. But we should be strong enough to just kind of get through it eventually. As you can see, one of the enemies is down. Oh, but we are in the middle of the big line of fish. And they are going to show up every single turn. I did not really consider that, so we are going to be forced to try to escape. I definitely can't take on the whole stream of enemies that will show up as backup. And now they are trying to put us to sleep to prevent us from running away. And it'll also mean we take extra damage when they hit us. However, the sleep status does wear off afterwards. Fortunately, we do manage to escape, but we are now going to be stuck in between all of these different sea wanderers. So all we can really do is try to get out of here before the party wipes. I don't think we have anything like a... Actually, we might. There might be a smoke bomb item to guarantee escape, but I'm not carrying any of those on me because it's usually not a big deal. Alright, but we do manage to get out of this one. But where do I even go from here? I'm pretty sure the Sea Wanderers would immediately start beating me up again. But it looks like we did actually manage to get out of the conga line. And then it looks like a dead end, but whenever you see these blue flowers, you're able to go ahead and sneak through. Now, I am definitely not ready to fight the boss, as my party is pretty injured. But like I said, I do have the Sovereign on my team. And every time I take a step, we are able to recover a little bit of HP. And now, as long as they do not take any damage, we'll start passively healing at the end of each turn. But our character actually dies and we take damage. Which means instead, we can go ahead and activate Nectar, which will revive our member for now. And then let's start going for some AoE attacks. I'm pretty sure both of the rock corals are weak to ice. So we're going to be going with the Ice Barrage. Fortunately, Ice Barrage misses most of my party. Our tank is definitely going to use Bodyguard to protect our farmer from fainting. And then, we can actually heal our party up a little bit by also buffing their defense. The Sovereign, whenever they cast a buff for the party, heals all of them by just a little bit. Only 6 health because I haven't invested a ton of skill points. But it is enough to get me out of the red. Minerva taking a ton of damage, but still surviving, which is all we need. At the end of the battle, we do heal a bit. And they are both in the red, so we're going to go ahead and just swing in. And hopefully that's going to be enough for us to start properly healing. We'll just walk around in a circle here. Get as many steps in as we can to recover our party's health. Then we exit in the other one-way passage and head right back into the secret area. The boss is right through here. But our party is pretty injured. So we're going to have to do our best to avoid taking any damage in the next fight. And we are fighting a ton of players and get blindsided, meaning they get a chance to swing in on everybody. That is rough, as it means our heal is not going to go through, let alone all of the status effects we are going to have to deal with. The blind makes it much harder for our attacks to actually hit. So we might actually just try fleeing again. Even though we are missing out on a ton of free XP because these aren't that tough of monsters. We just weren't really prepared for them to get the first move. So we'll do one more loop and see how our HP is looking afterwards. Looks like everybody but Minerva is set up. So one final loop should do the trick. A smaller group of monsters. But again, we are just going to run because I do want to get over to the boss and not spend all day trying to avoid these. Especially if they're going to be reducing our defense and boosting all of the damage we take. Fortunately, we do manage to make it out of the fight, so we should be in a pretty good position now. And then, since we're doing a boss fight, we're going to actually show you how combat is supposed to work. Outside of simply spamming the auto attacks. So, the story so far. Olympia here is an adventurer who tried to trick us into being sent to our doom. And they are trying to stop us from finding the Deep City. I believe the general plot of the game is that the Adventurers Guild is sending in a bunch of people to try to discover the lost treasures. But it is basically a throwaway part. A throwaway plot. So, the crocodile is resistant to all three types of non-magic attack. But unfortunately, I didn't actually choose a regular mage for the party. So, not much to do about that. Instead, what we're going to do is set up our tank with Provoke. And get in with the farmer. Like I said, the farmer does not do anything in combat except for auto attack or use items. But we're going to set up our front row with protection from the Sovereign's Guard Order. And then we're going to start swinging in with heavy shots. Just to compare the damage on a future turn with the weakness. Alright, we take a little bit of damage, but once our Provoke goes online, Minerva should be a lot more protected. So, Charge is a low TP move that will simply buff our damage on the next turn. So we go through alternating between it and our strongest attack. Provoke also lasts for 3 turns, so no reason not to attack with it. We have not built up our limit attack, so instead we are going to provide an attack order. In addition to the guard order, it should be helpful for letting us actually break through the boss. Blade Wave goes in and deals 62 damage 3 different times. And as you can see, the Abyssal Death is being tanked by the tank quite well. And we can actually see that we dealt a little bit less damage than we otherwise would have with the piercing shot. And that's because it just has more skill points invested into it. So, no problem. Let's keep it up. And then I'm also going to go ahead and use Shock Arms, turning my warrior's weapon into dealing elemental damage for the boost. And as you can see, everybody is now at full health. Unfortunately, this attack is a bit rough. I didn't know it was going to use it, but it damages everybody, which means my healing is now offline for the rest of the fight. We are about halfway there, though. Looks like just about everything is still set up. Which means it's time to unleash another Blade Rave. Attack with everything. And we can even refresh the guard order. Though I'm thinking we are going to go ahead and put it on the back row, in case they go for their attack again. Welcome, Cantrip. Yeah, I think he is a cool looking, I want to say crocodile. But maybe not. Okay, and Aura is very low. But I am kind of expecting for them to be quite low as well. We are getting close. Still, I have the bodyguard attack, which is able to take damage for the farmer's place. Guard order wore off. So we definitely want to go ahead and put it back online. Everyone else is healthy enough to survive an attack, so the bodyguard is a good plan. Blade Wave, unfortunately we didn't use charge, so it is a lot weaker this time. Oh, and the critical hit, not quite enough. But fortunately, we do manage to tank the attack once again. And they are so low, I think we should be able to go all out and finish it without the farmer dying. But I do still want a bodyguard, just in case. It would suck, if we took all this time, and then it didn't even, and then it didn't get my experience points. So, bodyguard, set up, and then swing in. The reason I'm not attacking with Minerva is because this monster has a 50% drop rate, but it only works if I finish off the boss with non-elemental damage. So we go for the heavy shot, perfectly reducing our mana to 0. And as you can see, we did get the Pig Iron Fang. I agree with Cantrip. All of the enemies have looked pretty fun. So this is my first time playing through the game. So I don't know what happens next, but we did manage to beat the monster. And apparently, Olympia is a servant of the Abyssal King, who I don't even know who it is. Big lore time. But apparently they are, saving us here. Well, apparently, even if you had the designs and you wanted to stop us, we are very weak after this battle. I think Olympia should probably be attacking us. Okay. Oh, so he wants to see us. I see. And he's going to let us come into the city, assuming we are able to beat the boss. Very interesting. This may be a good opportunity to report. Okay, so Kujira is the leader of the expedition down here. Basically, they are another member of the Adventuring Guild. And honestly, I'm kind of expecting them to be a boss later in the game as well. Just based on vibes of my experience with other RPGs. Even if they don't get mind controlled into becoming an enemy or anything, most games like this will have them be like, before you go do some final battle, you have to fight them as like a test to prove your worth. I obviously cannot confirm for sure that it's going to happen, but I would be pretty surprised if it doesn't. So our defense is reduced, and we are pretty weak after this battle. But, Kudra, I think, is only 1 floor ahead of us. So, making it to the staircase should be no problem. After a few turns, the monsters are defeated, and we will start healing up as we explore the labyrinth one more time. But based on the rotation of the fish, we might have to wait just a little bit more. Okay, I think this is perfect. No, I was 1 off. Which means time to go through the runaway gauntlet once again. Was the game made in RPG Maker? That is actually a pretty good question. I'll go look it up. These were originally on the DS, though. So I would be a little bit surprised. It's made by Atlas, which is a pretty big studio. But yeah, the graphics have definitely never been the main draw of the series. Obviously the dungeon itself is very samey. And unfortunately, I have no choice but to go around this whole thing again, as I mistimed the jump. So let's see how this fares. 1, 2, and this time is much better. They are still going around the circle. So we managed to sneak right away. And the stairs up are this way. I would say the dungeon having a lot of similarity in the design might be intentional. For example, the game is really designed for people who like mapping things out, which is definitely not why I am personally playing. But apparently back in the original release of like the very first game, you had to manually input everything, drawing the tiles and the walls of the dungeon as you explored, basically emulating very old games like Ultima, which you were you were intended to play those games by literally owning a sheet of graph paper and building things out as you went. So that is one reason why they might want a similar looking design, so it's actually harder for you to do things without the map. But also, by having things generally looking similar, it means that when I do see something out of the ordinary, it's that much more obvious or draws my attention. Meaning, I'm going to notice the secret hidden events. I know we're going to a camp, so I am going to try to just blast through these monsters. The high walrus, definitely the strongest of the bunch, so let's focus on it. Over the starfish. Though it is taking way less damage than I would have expected. Maybe it is resistant to all of the slash damage that I'm trying to deal to it. No. I guess it's just pretty tanky. RPG Maker, very Dragon Quest, which is inspired by Wizardry with the first person, and Etrian is inspired by Wizardry. Yeah, I guess Wizardry might have been a better choice than Ultima, for my example. Anyway, you could probably have seen the little camp icon I drew onto the map, which is where we are headed. Though I will talk to them before I do the camp. Oh, and I realize I'm covering up the text. Maybe I should kind of move over here and move the chat over the map so that you can actually see the game. I'm surprised nobody mentioned it earlier. But now I'm kind of facing the wrong way. I mean, I could bring this here, but then I can't see the chat. What if I just rotate the character model? I guess that works a little bit. Though it is still a little bit awkward as well. And also, I should probably move that. Okay. And we are ready to resume. It says, really like drawing the maps, but enjoy the auto draw too, since you still get use for making the notes and drawing ahead. Yeah, I've definitely used the manual draw for a lot of the ocean exploration, where it's a lot wider. So as I go down one path, I'll manually fill in the left and right side. The sentries return to Armor Road, and they also want me to get out of the dungeon, which I am totally fine with, as two of my members are completely, tanked out of mana. And we also are out of chopping, mining, and taking. Or gathering, which is probably the better name for it. But I'm guessing it was a text restriction, so they went with take instead. Fortunately, my farmer does have a skill to get us right out of here. So let's go ahead and just report. Even though it says we should take her into custody, and we did not do that, apparently we are complete with the quest anyway. So it does sound like the whole point of the journey is to find the Deep City. But there's no way we are near the end of the game. We aren't even level 30 yet. So our guild must just simply be built different and the strongest adventurers to have ever entered the world. Alright, so we give them the sea bead. And we get a little bit of money. But more importantly, we get a ton of experience leveling up our characters. Notably, they did not all gain 30,000. It is divided evenly between the 5 characters. Let's go ahead and accept the next mission, which is finding the Deep City by beating the second Stratum boss. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the end of the second zone, basically. So the sea bead is actually going to be able to find, probably turn off the, currents that are forcing me to avoid some of the treasure chests and something, that were otherwise blocked off. Then found something surrounded by the current and a whirlpool. And a pedestal that would have supported about the sea bead's size. Okay. And they are off to train, Go for the reward when succeeding. Okay. We're gonna head out of there and then head over to the weapon shop. Though we are mostly here to sell all of the items. As you collect the items and sell them to the shop, you are able to also upgrade your weapons and unlock new ones. For example, we just turned in our first pig iron skin. So that's probably going to be a requirement for one of those 3 things we just unlocked. The Gondivam is a pretty powerful sounding bow. We are currently using the Reshef's bow. 153 to 196 is a huge increase. But this one does come with a couple of bonuses to hitting. So we'll have to think about whether or not that is worth it. But it is a 30% damage increase. So it's probably going to end up being worth it. For sure. And we definitely have enough money to go for it. Let's go ahead and equip the new item. Then we also unlocked a club. But they're only able to be used by gladiators, who we are having focus on swords instead. And as you can see, none of the other ones are able to use it. So we move on to armor. And we get the nightcap. Which is only a 3 defense increase for most people. But we are currently on the purple leggings and aim goggles. But we also need the TP. So let's go to our tankier characters. The nightcap does increase vitality, which I think would be even more defense. So it would be for this one. Viking helm, it's only 6. I probably don't want to spend over 1,000 just on 6 defense, in case we need it for bigger weapons as we explore the new zone. Accessories, we didn't get any of those, and those are fine as well. So I think we are actually pretty much good to go. We could go for a forge on some of our weapons. We have plenty of these, but I actually don't know what to go for. Maybe we would add some kind of affinity if we knew what the boss was actually going to be weak to. The farmer is always auto-attacking, so the other option would be to add a secondary status effect, which makes a ton of sense to me. Let's go ahead and see if we can't inflict some blinds. 300 times 2 is totally fine with me. Putting in 2 will increase the effect, or make it more likely to actually go off. The rapier we are also able to boost up, but he's not really much of an attacker. The sovereign is always going to be swinging in, with their buff spells. So let's instead focus on vitality, giving us a little bit of extra defense, I think. Assuming it did it correctly. The Gondivam, we need more pig irons, which we don't have. And then the Fosser. I guess we will just give it a little bit more damage, as this is our main damage dealer. Attack is currently 125. But I don't actually see it applied. So I don't know how much this is actually boosting it. I tried it once earlier, and I just don't know. So with that, let's go ahead and actually heal our party now. Stay until 7 p.m. So just the 1 hour in the in-game clock. As far as I know, there isn't actually a time limit or anything. But still better to do the less one, I suppose. The reason they give it to you is that different monsters spawn during day and night. I will double check that there were no new quests available or info. Okay. And then there is supposed to be some monster on the 8th floor, but we haven't fully explored it. I'm assuming it's not doable until we actually get in there with the sea bead. So I'm pretty sure they told us to go to the 6th floor. Which is no problem with me. We'll go ahead. Oh wait, but also, we did level up after the boss fight. So we should probably apply those skill points. Sword Mastery, I'm able to boost up the power of either the charge attack or the Blade Wave. I don't know which one is better, but we probably do max them both out anyway. So I'm going to start with Blade Wave, but I might come back around and change my mind in the future. Our Hoplite is the Guardian, and I am actually thinking I won't spend any skill points, because if you get one of these all the way up to level 10, you're able to get immunity to the respective element. And I never know if there's going to be a big boss that blocks me off unless I'm able to get immunity to the status. So I do want to keep it in my back pocket. Though maybe I should have been more conservative with upgrading the parry. Our farmer doesn't really need anything in particular. So, like I said, not a combat unit. I could go for sleep or trying to do random binds, but he is just here to help me get items. Sora the Sovereign. And then I invested a little bit in the TB recovery so that basically when our orders wear off, we're able to keep going for even longer. I think that's probably the best thing to focus on, in addition to the HP recovery, at least for in combat. I have been considering going for a third point in the Monarch March to make sure we explore the dungeon for as long as possible. Though I do also want a point in all of the attack orders in case I need to use a specific type or element for a future boss. So I'm going to keep the 1 skill point for now. Valkyrie, I've been debating whether to go for Armor Piercer or Front Mortar as the main skill. The issue is that the farmer is really bad in the back line and already doesn't do anything. So putting Valkyrie up there would feel odd. So I'm thinking Armor Piercer might end up being the skill of choice. But the TP is so expensive. And there's also the chance to boost the accuracy. I did just drop an accuracy boosting bow for a bunch of extra damage. So we are going to go ahead and invest in there for now. And that should be everybody. We are set up and ready to go. Welcome, Rafflesia. Thank you for tuning in. And Cantrip. I do agree. I think Blade Wave is probably the attack I am going to focus on. We get blindsided, but this is completely non-threatening. As you can see, all the damage they dealt was immediately healed off by Sora, our Sovereign. Oh, wait. Even though I rested and recovered all of my TP, I didn't get the Chop, Mine, and Take back. I'm guessing it's because I only went for the 1 hour option instead of waiting until the day reset. But, maybe this will work out for us. And we'll be able to get, cool new items as we explore the next section of the dungeon. Alright, and we actually see the farmer get in a blind. And also something dealt 174 damage. On an auto attack, that must have been the results of our new bow. So we explore and we make it down into the 6th floor. Now, I do remember there being a bit of a weird thing here. I'm gonna guess it's that section. Though Though I'm not actually sure if I even have a way to check what the memo says. So that is where I'm going to head at the bare minimum. Let's go ahead and go through this and then this one. But as you can see, something I was talking about is there is a treasure chest over to my left, but the currents are blocking my path to get to it. So I'm thinking that is what the sea bead is going to turn off for us. The full screen map, just so I can get a better view of where I'm trying to go. It looks like if I go up, it is going to be a little bit shorter than trying to go all the way around. Thanks to a little passage I found earlier. So we go this way, but instead of going down to the next floor, we're going to head to the right and make our way around. We get blindsided again, and they both use shell, so we're going to be in for a long auto battle. Or being paralyzed is our least effective member, so it really doesn't matter. The hermits are able to cover, just like the Eclipse with their bodyguard. So unfortunately, we are going through these high defense monsters before we're able to deal with the pufferfish. Welcome, Edit Universe. Yeah, so I'm playing the HT remasters over on the Switch, but I have heard there is a different edition for numbers 1 and 2 on the DS with some different balancing mechanics. So I can definitely see going for those first. I figure these games take a really long time, so I only bought the most recent one available on the Switch. I do know there is an Etrian Odyssey 4 or maybe even 5. But I wanted to be able to play it on the Switch, so I didn't look around on Steam or whatever other console it might have launched on. And I read a lot with Cantrip. We recover a ton of health every turn, but needing to be at full HP is a bit of a problem. I feel like I don't want to dedicate the hoplite to only ever clicking bodyguard. But that makes things a little bit awkward, as it's just RNG to see whether or not the farmer gets, or sorry, if the sovereign gets hit by the attack. I tried putting them in the back row since I assume that's going to lower. I assume they get targeted less if they are in the back row, but I don't know exactly how aggro in the game works. And as you see, so we're once again getting hit. Fortunately, they are going to recover after the battle and as we walk around, so they will be ready to go by the time we get in the next fight. Let's go ahead and see if I was correct with my memory that this is the place to go. Definitely seeing something weird here. Holding out the sea bead. And the sound stops and... Alright, so I was correct. Looks like the tides have receded. Which means it's time to go get those treasure boxes I wasn't able to find earlier. And of course, we get the low battery as soon as I say that. Which means we're going to switch over to the other controller so I can go ahead and plug this one in. Fortunately, I do own two. So give us one moment. Sorry for the delay. I forgot that it was paired to a different Switch. But we are ready to go. I just have 2 of the regular Pro Controllers, though this Splatoon one does look pretty cute. I do like the color scheme for Splatoon 3 a ton. So the Untitled games are like remakes balanced around new single-player campaigns. Wait, so is the story completely different? If they are more like remakes, that's actually pretty cool if so. I'm totally up for new entries into the series, being more than just remasters. Alright, so we need to head, back up to the top and then over to the right in order to get the treasure chest. I could instead choose to go straight for, the mission, but I want to see what kind of items have been hidden off to me. Oh? Let's think. So, I know the astrologer really doesn't want us to let this guy know. They are explorers from the first stratum that we met a little bit earlier, and I feel like there's a pretty good chance they are going to not really be able to take on the fish. And I don't really want to do a random side quest boss battle, so I'll go with no. Oh, so he just leaves anyway. Well, that's pretty bad. I actually don't even remember where I'm supposed to be going. Oh, it's over this way, I think. On the way, I guess I will go try to stop him. We're able to get a rare item if we kill these with Volt attacks. But also, we are at the point where I'm pretty sure I don't need any more of their items. And we are good on money. I'm not really here for long grinding sessions. I just want to see what was in those treasure chests. I don't think I've ever actually gotten anything super interesting about them. Okay. But I was going to say something like a weapon could be pretty cool. Though the intelligence book increases it's a stat booster. Unfortunately, as I've mentioned before, I am not running a traditional mage in my party. So I might not actually be able to use this otherwise very cool item. I believe there should be another treasure chest somewhere else along the way. Then I want to go this way. Is there anything being blocked off by the waves? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure after I turn it off, I'm supposed to go further down. Which is fine with me. This is the direction I wanted to head anyway, as that is where the treasure chest is awaiting. We head back through, and it's time for another battle. But as always, we're simply going to run right through these monsters. They didn't use the defense up on turn 1, which means they should be falling relatively quickly. So let's go ahead and go this way. Once we make it back, the day did go from, it rolled over from midnight, which I believe is the trigger for refreshing the chop ability. So we're going to be able to grab some additional free items here. Blue starfish, no problem. Unless we accidentally walk into the purple or red enemies, we should be fine. Material spot. Grabbing algae and grapes. Not really sure I'm going to need these, but I can, at the very least, sell them. And also, I think the narcissist might actually be on a weapon I was using. Anyway, the treasure chest should be right here. So we open it, and we get a slaughter script. I have no idea what that is. Maybe it is a limit option. No. But also, I got this one I didn't even know. Give all allies critical strength. I'm assuming that means we get more common, critical hits. But I don't actually know. So I will ignore it for now and try to find the item that it said we got. Which I've already forgotten the name of. So I have no idea where to find it. Oh, a script. Okay. It was the slaughter script. But I can't do anything with it. Oh, okay. So I actually was correct. The script was the new mysterious limit that I unlocked that I wasn't able to tell what it's called. Lethal tactic from the slaughter script. I feel like they could have called it the lethal script. Or something to indicate it came from the same thing. But okay. I guess I was right all along. Let's go ahead down to the 7th floor, which is where I think we're gonna find a new path to get us to the 8th floor again from a different area. But overall, a stat booster and a limit are definitely the best items we found from treasure chests so far. I don't have a ton of waves marked on here, actually. So is this not the right direction? All of the holes are coming from areas where where there's a boss that I'm not really inclined to fight right now. So maybe I'm actually supposed to head back up to the 5th floor. I mean, I suppose the whirlpool was heading upwards in the image. And unfortunately, this is pretty close to the other stairs. It takes a while to explore the maps your first time around. But then afterwards, you're able to get in between floors using the shortcuts fairly reliably. Unfortunately, Sora gets hit, but like I said, they will heal up after the battle. Finding a way to protect him from those AoEs would be wonderful. But let's see if there is something more intriguing on a future floor. Or on the previous floor. I'm trying to read my map to see if there were other areas that I'm missing. But I don't have any tides posted for this floor. So I don't think it's here either. So I'm definitely missing something. This floor, is there anywhere I wouldn't be able to get? Just down here, but I managed to get there anyway. Then this area is a loop. This one, I'm able to go down and around on. So there shouldn't be anything super discreet from here. Which means I think I do just want to go head over to floor 7 again and see what I missed. Unfortunately, walking back and forth is not a ton of fun. So it might be time to go find the map. I mean, I can also check the 8th floor again and see if I was forgetting something about the flow on that one. Oh, wrong button. Let's start by looking at the map. The only real flow pod was here. But it just goes in a loop, and we're able to get around and out of it anyway. Unless I forgot to mark one somewhere. Oh, wait, I'm also supposed to be saving the, boy from a previous floor. And that is over on this thing. So maybe I should go finish that event. I guess that does make some sense. Okay, I'm gonna do that first. There's probably some kind of boss battle or something for me to do there. And maybe that'll give us the next hint. So it was this way, and I just completely forgot I was doing it earlier. Because I have the memory of a goldfish. We had a preemptive attack, so once again, no problem. But is there anywhere else blocked off here? Maybe I am supposed to go all the way down to the 8th floor. But for the quest, it is up and around here. Or the side quest. And then I'm just looking at my maps and see if there's anywhere else that I can be going. Oh, you know what? I think I figured it out. I think it was indeed over on the 2nd, or on the 7th floor. If we go to here, and then zoom in on the waves, there's actually a path, that I didn't discover. I did not show it off very well because I am blocking it, but I do know where to go now. So first we just go this way. And we can do the quest. Alright, there's the astrologer. So we try to get there first. Okay. Monsters are strewn about with Agatha. At the boy's feet is the girl. How did she die already? We just got here. Well, at least they didn't both die, I guess. I don't know if I was supposed to pick the other option. But surprising there wasn't any battle or, anything else going on there. So we just need to make it all the way back up to the top. And then we'll be able to go to the 7th floor where I am supposed to continue. You know what? Maybe I should actually just be trying to run from these battles. The auto attacks still take a turn or two. and are a bit longer than just clicking the run button. And I mean, I guess we did, die when we got ambushed by the foes earlier. But it's not, like, we aren't in so much danger that I feel like we do need to grind. We have a ton of money for upgrading whatever gear we unlock next. And so on. Let's speed this up a little. Pretty sure this has already been stripped of resources, so we go down, and then we go over to where the tide was. Though maybe we'll take a quick detour, of just 3 squares to grab some additional resources. And we are good to go. We head this way. So let's go ahead, beat these up, and then move on. Looks like it should only take 2 or 3 turns. Maybe 4. We actually get a couple of big parries off. Preventing us from taking too much damage. So we head this way. And with the tides gone, once we clear through this walrus, we should be ready to go. As you can see, everybody is back at full health after the battle, thanks to the Sovereign's passive healing. So this is definitely the right path. We find a staircase. Let's make sure we don't forget to mark the way back up on the path. Okay. And then which way to go? I guess we'll start straight ahead and see where it puts us. Oh, and that is a brand new monster. Iron Turtle. I'm gonna guess it has a ton of resistance, but is it gonna be weak to volt damage? You know what? Since this is a new thing, I might actually want to use some of my mana, just so I can start dealing with the turtle at the same time as these things. Let's give them a Volt Barrage. I feel like fish should generally be weak to lightning. Unfortunately, Minerva keeps missing whenever I try to use that attack. Okay, I did see a big 181. Oh, but that was a one-shot. That is ridiculous. And I don't think I actually have the revive item. So we are now in a ton of trouble. Let's make sure we are using Provoke and trying to clear out this boss. Welcome, June. Hope you are doing well. Why is this thing so strong? Hopefully we are able to finish it before it kills us. We are down 2, but we also lose the farmer, which is awful for us. The farmer is how we were actually getting back to town and reviving our units. So I think we actually are unfortunately being immediately kicked out after spending all of this time trying to discover the location. I don't have any revives on me. Oh, but we do have a pole stone. So that's going to be able to at least get us to the staircase, which is not a ton. Maybe I should be carrying a thread with me. Anyway. There is a tent there. But no, I need to make it up to... Wait, I have a tent. So if I make it up there, I might be okay. But I'd rather go up to the 5th floor. Since I'll be able to get, weaker fights here. Wait, I went down. That is definitely not where I want to be. Okay. So to the campsite for sure. And things suddenly have become much more dangerous. We are basically guaranteed to run into an encounter at some point before we get there. Fortunately, this shouldn't be too bad. We are a floor or 2 up, and, have relatively healthy party members, apart from the downed ones. What is our items at? I mean, we are running low on items anyway. So, making it up to floor 5. And going, back to town is probably a good idea. We also got a new item, so we might be able to forge a new weapon. I'm also definitely going to invest as much as I can in defense. I thought we were really safe, but I guess not. I am also going to definitely look at the monster compendium so we can know what to do against those turtles in the future. And if one of them appears, I will definitely be on my guard and actually use skills rather than just trying to auto-battle my way through. Unfortunately, we do have a bit of a walk through the 5th floor until we are able to escape. Had it been any other party member, apart from the farmer, that went down, we'd have been able to just simply teleport right out of there. Unfortunate. I will keep 1 revive on me. I did use it earlier, but I think I forgot to restock. I am assuming they sell them in the item shop. But I haven't really needed them. Up until now. I'm expecting maybe 1 more random encounter, but the end goal is in sight. And there will be much less randomly walking around, now that we actually know where the correct path is. Let's go ahead, sell our items. We get a ton of money, and we unlock laced mail and a ring dagger. Do I want the guard vest on anyone? I'm pretty sure that is worse than the other thing we have had. So, we don't need that. Okay, let's purchase. Wait, we don't have the option for that at all. Abyssal Twigs. I feel like I've gotten a few of those, and I'd really like to upgrade the sword when I get a chance. So I'm gonna go look up how I actually get that. I'm pretty sure it is a rare mining drop. Oh, it's a chop. Okay. But I think there should have been something else too. Laced mail is exactly the same armor value as the 3/4. And it's only 30 cheaper. So what is the point of that? Definitely not buying it. I was really hoping to find something cool and interesting. But we definitely want to grab ourselves a revive. That's nectar. So we'll grab 1 nectar. Then we can sell our excess equipment. Guard vest is the weakest of the items, I think. Or is it the half? Oh, wrong button. Yeah, guard vest is indeed the weakest. So let's go ahead and just get rid of that. And we decided the kettle hat also wasn't as useful as the other things our items or our adventurers have equipped. I wonder if I'm able to use the item to save on reviving the other party member. So nectar goes there. Then skills, farmer can slap awake the Valkyrie. Let's buy a new copy of the revive. Buy a nectar. And yeah, we can buy up to 20 of them. We are totally fine. Not a super limited item. Then we go to the inn and we stay. Then finally send it to us and we report our monstrous codex update. Let's take a look at the Iron Turtle. So they do resist everything, but are weak to elemental damage. All 3 types even. So I'm thinking I probably do want to use some kind of enchantment. Oh, and I also want to upgrade my armors. I was hoping to find something a little bit better. Like the double mail before I invested in a full set of 3/4 for everybody. But 2 more sentry that is a ton of sentry shell just to get 1 copy. Let's see what we can forge. And we know we're upgrading this soon as well. Wait, is that even the one that's equipped? It is. Okay. So we already did all of that. We're good to go. We can sell the old bow because it is so much weaker. And we actually get a pretty hefty refund on it. Of like 900. And that's a weapon that costed, I don't even know. Apparently. But that is fine. I don't think there are any new quests as we haven't found any new floors yet. So let's head right back into the dungeon. Sorry for the delay in interesting combat. But we are headed right back in. I feel there is a pretty significant amount of menuing in the game. Though not much I can do about it. Definitely want to make sure the party is prepared after nearly wiping. Once we get over to the new section, we definitely will go ahead and be a lot more cautious. Unfortunately, sometimes when you are mining, you'll end up getting ambushed by a group of wilds. But luckily on this floor, it isn't that bad. 2 turns and everything is healed up, is all healed off. We grab the red core. Let's finish up the mining. And then on to floor number 6. We need to make it back to floor 7. Which is just a straight shot from right here. Right, just a single, of the weaker of the 2 walrus enemies. No problem at all. Right, and then we head around here, and it is a straight shot up for the most part to floor number 7. I think we probably will try to clear out the boss on the 8th floor. And that'll be it for today's stream. Though, based on the way this is going, it might be an hour or two yet. We do have to finish mapping out the entire 8th floor to even figure out where we're supposed to be. But floor number 7, straight ahead. And then we can go this way. Pretty sure we have Chop left, which is the final resource we come across by going this way. And we are able to find those abyssal twigs. This could be it. And we get 1. And I think we needed 2 more. Unfortunately, we did not grab it. Hi, Walrus. We'll spend a turn and then evaluate from there. If we're totally safe, we will just keep going with the auto attacks. But I do know the Walrus has dealt some significant damage to me in the past. Fortunately, we have leveled up a ton since then. So we're able to clear it fairly easily. Unfortunately, just the 1 abyssal twig. I was really hoping to get a second. But no problem. I'll figure it out on a future run. Let's go straight down past the old currents and descend. And this is where things might get tricky. So there should be a path this way. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything unique, and we're actually back where we started. Looks like both ways lead to here. And it is a treasure chest. We stopped just before we would have found a pretty interesting item. I haven't heard of it before. Nullifies buffs. Sounds like it could be pretty useful. Need to just mark it on the map, and we are good to go. Okay. Then we head back on up. And I don't see any of those dangerous sea turtles, so we can go ahead and auto battle. Minerva is taking a bit of a beating, though. I'll go ahead and bodyguard for a turn. And I think if I click auto, I think it undoes that. I wish there was a way to, like, set some and then just say, okay, everybody else attacks. But it ends up not making too much of a difference, and we get through. This is quite a large section. I can see paths on the left and the right, and we're going to start with this one, since to me it seems like there would be less space on the dungeon map for it to go elsewhere. So if one of them is a dead end, I would expect it to be here. Or a secret path. Oh, we find monster corpses. And apparently this is the quest I was unable to complete earlier. Oh, the Glutton Beast. Exactly what I was struggling with. But this time it doesn't have any support. So it should be a... Wait. Why don't I have info on it? Is this not the exact same turtle I was just struggling against? In any case, we are definitely going to take it seriously. Let's swing in, set up our guard order, and start with heavy shot. Provoke is up. We deal 86 damage. Go for a blind. Oh, but they actually start defending. So we're going to deal less damage to them, presumably, for the rest of the turn. But we do have our Blade Rave. They only started off with a defense. So I'm going to go in until they do something. we can attack order to boost up all of those swings. And let's see what the normal attack does compared to heavy shot. We actually do get in with a blind. Fantastic. Heavy shot, about 30% damage increase. Let's use another copy of charge and swing in with everybody else. Though if it is actually weak to everything, we should shock arms our main attacker. Alright, and we get in for pretty significant damage. Ice Flurry unfortunately hits Sora out of nowhere. And that turns off our healing. I'm pretty sure we used charge, so now we Blade Wave. Provoke is still up. I am able to guard order the back row so Sora doesn't take as much damage from any future attacks. And then we can keep on fighting. We also do heal a little bit. Blade Wave going in for a triple 37 damage. Overall, seems pretty strong. At least compared to the rest of the attacks we are doing. Ice Flurry hitting the Minerva. So I think we need to reapply our Provoke. And maybe the guard order as well. Just keep swinging in with Valkyrie. The heavy shots are fairly consistent, if nothing else. Provoke should draw attacks towards it. And Eclipse, much higher defense than anybody else, barely takes a scratch at all. Let's go in with a Blade Wave and a Line Guard for future protection. I think we are good on guard order, so let's go ahead with the attack order. And I need to make sure his charge isn't actually taking up those buff slots. It's actually not something I have confirmed before. Decent damage from that. Only 13 from... Alright, nice. I think everybody can swing in. They are in the red. And we need attack order to boost all of those. It has been a long fight, but I think we are able to do it. Though I'm wondering why it says it's a mutated monster. It seems pretty normal looking to me. Okay, that was rough. We're going to need to use Bodyguard on the farmer. Then we need to use the Revive on Minerva. Then I'm going to heal up Hamau. And finally swing in with the heavy shot. Unfortunately, that was not enough to fully heal up Sora. I was hoping that would be good enough for us to get the healing off. Unfortunately, Cross Slash not ready. But I think we need to go all in. Try to kill him before he kills any more of our members this turn. Everybody is going to be attacking. And what's this? Okay, and we can also charge attack it. I probably should have remembered to use that one earlier in the fight. Maybe like turn 2. But here we go. Cross Slash, 62 damage. Blade Wave might be able to finish the job. And we just barely managed to take out the Glutton Beast. We don't get nearly as much experience as I thought we would. And not even a cool item drop. So we are going to get a little bit of recovery as we walk around. But if we run into another one of those turtles, we are simply going to retreat. For sure. I probably should just be using the map to mark. But I like traveling through all of the squares myself, just in case there is an event on any of them. Oh. Hopefully that doesn't come in here. Okay. Seems safe. So, it isn't here. We can walk and move forward. Wait, is it stuck there? And which way does it move? This feels a little bit dangerous. I'm gonna go this way. Okay, but it's walking the other direction. But it only goes every other turn. But how do I get through here? I was expecting there to be a hidden passage. Okay, it's another one of these. And we actually get blindsided, but fortunately we have the parry. I mean, we were able to take one of these out not too long ago, but that was the big boss fight. Wasn't it? I'm not sure we have the resources for this. We are getting out of here. I mean, I can take it, probably, if I have a full health team. But what else do they expect us to do? Let's read the map again. Is there anywhere I was missing? We went down here, and it was just that. That's an area we've already been to. I'm pretty sure this has to be the right way to proceed. Which means I don't have much of a choice but to fight it. And I don't really want to go all the way up several levels just to reach a campground or anything either. I do have some TP recovery, but we're going to focus on health. I'm going to fully heal up my party by walking around with the Sovereign. Oh, so they do follow me. Okay. So if I go like this, I'm able to... No, it walked right into me. I didn't realize I was going to be able to lure it into the room. But hopefully I'm able to escape. And then it'll follow me around a little bit. And then since it is slow... it shouldn't move this turn. Oh, but now I'm stuck again. Let me think how I want to maneuver around it. Maybe I can pull it downwards. Perfect. And monster completely dodged. According to my map, there is a two-way passage here, so we always want to unlock those whenever we get the chance. I'm not going up just yet, though. I am going to go ahead and start exploring this zone again. Another one of those turtles. So apparently instead of the glutton beast, they are called iron turtles. But they use the same sprite. That is the first time in the game I've seen two different enemies just being the same thing. Our TP is pretty low. But we will do what we can. I think we want to definitely use Provoke, drawing the aggro towards Eclipse. And then we are going to focus on defending first. And we will use Fire Barrages to try to clear out the Starfish. Once it's down to just the turtle, we'll be okay. The Fire Barrage dealing a ton of damage to it. Oh, and it actually starts off with a defense. Interesting. Icicle coming in. But we do have a full health Sora. So we are in a much better position. And as you can see, the Iron Turtle is way weaker than that other monster we were fighting. Let's Line Guard. And just kind of go in. Pretty sure we used guard order. So next up is the attack order. And then another fire barrage, and we should be in a pretty good position. Hopefully we're able to get more of those sentry shells from the turtle, since I'm pretty sure it unlocks a new defensive item. Fire barrage, taking out, I think, 2 of the starfish, putting us in a pretty good spot for future turns. Icicle hitting the eclipse, not much of an issue. But Valkyrie just goes down to the turtle again, out of nowhere. And that was even after we tried using Provoke and Guard Order. It just hits random enemies, which is a huge problem. That said, I'm pretty sure this is the final turn. I'm going to be really disappointed if we don't finish the turtle off. Oh, and it has Ice Flurry again. But also, this is exactly what I was talking about. Being able to invest into resistance for Eclipse. They have all of those different wall attacks. But fortunately, the Iron Turtle is down. Unfortunately, our life points are incredibly low. But we did find a campsite. So, we have, we're able to slap awake Valkyrie with just 1 HP, but that's good enough. We go into the camp, and we have a tent, meaning we are able to fully heal our party, I think. And everybody is back to full. Fantastic. Let's finish scouting out this area. And we can continue venturing forth. Though I do need to add a door to the map. Okay. Looks like this is really the only way forward. So let's go with it. Another huge room. Wasn't expecting all of these. And it looks like at 7 p.m. we get a Q shift as it transitions from day into night. Looks like there should be a path over here. But just like before, one of those foes are randomly here to cause issues. We need to lure them into the room and then dodge them before we proceed. Oh, but it actually caught me anyway. We are at full health. So we could take it. But the question is, do we want to do that? We are trying to find our way to the main boss. And if we spend all of our energy taking out these abyssal deaths, we are going to be in a ton of danger. So let's draw deeper into the room. It should move one more here. And then we get to move twice every time it gets a single attack. And we just barely dodge it. I had almost miscalculated. I was going to have to do it all over again. Let's see what lies this way. I'm just kind of randomly picking paths. But a door. I mean, that is a little bit scary, as it could be the boss. No. Looks like it is a new take point. We don't have any available resources, but I will go ahead and mark it down for future use. Though it does seem a little bit out of the way compared to other options. Iron Turtle, but this time it is completely alone. Do I want to fight this? I could really use the sentry shells. I suppose I should. Let's provoke, attack, guard order, and start swinging in. Right, off to a decent start. we used charge. So now we can blade order. Line guard and swing in with you, and let's also guard order the back row. As much as I would really like to use attack order. That was an incredibly underwhelming blade rave. Let's just try the normal attack and see how that goes for us. Attack order going to boost them all up. And then when the guard order wears off, I should be able to alright, here comes the ice flurry, but it actually misses both of the targets. A clutch blind from the farmer is going to make this a much easier end of the fight. Hopefully this is enough. I saw it was red, so I assumed 5 normal attacks would be enough. And just barely. We do clear the turtle, and we get the sentry shell we were looking for. Fantastic. Finish mapping out this room. Let's put the door on it. And we can head into the next section. Looks like this was a dead end. Okay, and this is looking kind of rough. I wonder if I am supposed to have better weapons. Or if my strategy so far has been substandard. Then I'm going to swing into the turtle as much as possible. But also guard orders going in. And then fire barrages to deal with the starfish. Once we get everything set up defensively. Hopefully the ice flurries are not as big of an issue. And obviously we're able to blind it and make things not work at all. That will be great. But it starts off immediately with an ice flurry, but it only targets one monster. So we might be okay. We use charge, and next is going to be rampage for the AoE. Provoke, and then we bodyguard. We need to guard order ourselves. And then Valkyrie with another fire barrage. And hopefully this is enough. If Rampage hits all of the marks, the red starfish should not survive. But we missed the Iron Turtle, the most important one, though we do manage to land a blind. We even get in a parry. Alright, red starfish somehow survives. And things are starting to look a little bit up. Let's get in there for some big damage. All the starfish are down. All we need to do is take out this turtle. The fire barrage does a ton. And we managed to find another sentry shell, which is perfect. Thinking this is all one room. Yeah. So next path is going to be this way. I haven't seen any more hidden doors. But if we look at the map, I'm thinking this is much more likely to be the dead end as we're reaching the edge of the graph paper. It is a door though. It's a star door. Okay. So let's go into the map, put in a locked door, and then I will add star to it. I have no idea when we actually get access to these things, but there was one as early as the very first floor of the game with a moon symbol. Here comes another iron turtle. And I do want to try something this time. If I use the firearms on Minerva, is that going to make us deal significantly more damage? And the answer is yes. It goes from like 18 to over 70. So I think that is what I've been doing wrong. Yet we took out over half of the health on the very first turn. Definitely was what I was doing wrong. Let's go ahead and clear out that iron turtle. No problem. Unfortunately, no drops from that one. But I am glad to know how to deal with it now. Alright, this is looking like a dead end, for sure. Pretty odd. No events either. I was thinking maybe I need to come back to it for something later. Or maybe it's just there to make me walk a little bit more. Uh-oh. I didn't see the Abyssal Death until it was too late. We're definitely going to run. Valkyrie is down to just 10, mana. Which is not really enough to get in for a prolonged fight. And it should be paused. Perfect. Wait, but we need to go one further. Oh, and that makes it run right into us. Incorrect pathing again. I am not the greatest. Okay, we get the parry off. And that's going to be more than good enough to get around it. I don't think that is the intended solution, but if it works, it works. Make sure there's no secret doors behind me before we march forward. Loop around this. And we can continue on once more. Another set of dead end, or another split in the road. Definitely gonna go ahead and check out this one first. See what we run into. Another iron turtle. Are the rock corals also weak? Only to ice. So I'll hit him with an ice barrage. And of course we need to try to blind that turtle as soon as possible. Also we need to provoke to avoid any other issues. We'll go with shock arms this time and then fire off an ice barrage. But Valkyrie is running very low on mana. Everybody is relatively healthy, and as long as Sword doesn't get hit, we are safe. Let's keep up the attack. Line guard. And I'll use shock arms on Valkyrie, as even though they aren't able to attack anymore, by giving them the boost. Even the normal attacks should be pretty solid. 137 is fantastic damage. And then we can just auto-attack through the rock coral. Much less dangerous without the turtle around. As you can see, everybody is acting very close to max health. Even though... even though we were in a prolonged fight. Alright, there is another door here. And that is going to be the powerful presence, huh? I am not sure I am prepared for a boss fight here. Obviously, I don't know what it's going to be. But I'm guessing this is the ice biome. So it's probably a big ice monster of some sort. I'm trying to think if there are any other places I should explore first. I definitely want to finish up the rest of this map and probably recover my mana and everything before I go into a big fight. So I do see another path over here. So let's see where it brings us. And maybe there'll be something else to do first. Once again, a dead end. And it doesn't look like there's anything here either, which does surprise me quite a bit. Let's take a look at the full map. Is there anywhere else I need to go? Not that I can see. The star door is blocked off, and everything else I think is explored. Actually, wait, there's one more thing right next to the stairs, which is useful as we are trying to get back up anyway. So we'll go over there and see what we missed in the other area. Definitely gonna go for a slash here. And it looks like we should, as long as we don't pick fire, we'll be okay. Definitely going to use provoke. Try to blind him. Give it not fire. So shock arms. And then swing in with Valkyrie. Many turtles will be dying for us to make it where we need to go. Also, we have been in the dungeon for quite some time. I do wonder, oh, I accidentally clicked auto attack. But it looks like we actually make it through the turn relatively unscathed, which is nice. Definitely going to use the shock arms on Valkyrie for the extra damage. But since we've been in the dungeon for a while, I think we probably want to get out, sell our items, and maybe refresh on the nectar before we go into a big fight. Ice Flurry used but misses, and everything is red. I think we are safe to finish off this battle. And then there is the big decision. We are about to enter a new stratum, which means we're going to be finding a ton of new items. So should I focus on upgrading all of my gear for the big boss fight? Or should I prepare to battle it with what I have, as the gear on the next floor is almost certainly going to be a lot stronger. Also, apparently we are a huge travel distance away from any of these staircases. I really thought there would be a path, and there it is. A small crack, saving me a ton of time. Definitely need to make sure I mark it on the map for the path back. I was like, there's no way they're gonna make us walk all the way around this just to get to the boss again. And that puts us exactly where we want to be. As the one path I don't think we've explored yet is right at this intersection. Right before the secret. So we go over this way and see if we find anything of note. Another iron turtle. And the hermit to protect it even. Definitely gonna go for the blind as always. Grab a shock arms. Oh, and apparently there's a special item on the Great Hermit we've never actually triggered the condition for. Though I'm not sure I have any way to do it. There are a few monsters where I need to beat them with non-normal weapons. Basically beat them with magic. And my entire team does not have that. Even if they are Volt enhanced, I'm pretty sure it deals piercing and Volt damage. That kind of thing. But I could be wrong. I wonder if that's something I'm able to look up. But the fight is going exceedingly well. Let's go ahead and go for one more round of attacks. Shock arms still around, but we'll go ahead and give it to another party member just in case. Alright, we get another sentry shell, which is good enough for me. And then it looks like a gathering node. And we actually do have chopping available because it reset onto the next day. I think we are just looking for an abyssal twig, which is exactly what we just found. Let's keep going until it throws us out into a battle, or we finish mining the zone. Looks like it is time to fight a group of 3 walrus. What are they weak to? Fire and shock. I'll go ahead and rampage and give them shock arms to help out with the damage. Then I'm going to focus on the high walruses first, as they are the advanced version of the other one on the right. Alright, and we managed to get a blind on one of the walrus, which is great. Unfortunately, our defense is down, and Solar, takes damage, meaning we need to finish this off quickly before our health, is in rapid decline. As you can see, we didn't actually deal all that much damage. So we are going to be doing our best. Maybe I should actually go ahead and use a provoke, since the rest of my party had their defense lowered. Another shock arms on Valkyrie, just because they are our strongest member. Thanks to the crazy bow they have access to. Let's go ahead, use a provoke, draw the damage over to it. There's always a chance they miss, and always a chance we parry. Like that, avoiding a huge amount of potential damage. And now we need to just focus our attacks on the high walrus, take one of them down, and we'll be in a good spot. They are still able to put in some pretty big damage, but we blinded the walrus once again. And we are dealing big damage to the high Onep. I think we are at the spot we actually can just auto here. The defense going down again is a bit of an issue, but they are down to just one remaining member, and the walrus falls. So let's finish our chopping. And we are good to go. Now we just need to teleport out of the dungeon. As I'm pretty sure that is everything we could have done. I should definitely mark the resource on the map. But other than that, let's go properly heal and prepare for the boss. Apparently I have events marked down there, but I don't know what they are. No need to go investigate. We are simply going to go ahead and activate the skill of our farmer to take us to market. Firm. We are able to sell a ton of rare items. Though I guess we didn't really farm too many gold drops. In either case, it's still going to be several thousand extra gold. So we are going to go in on whatever these new items are. But first, before we buy anything, let's head to the Butterfly Bistro and turn in the quest. We beat that monstrous mutation, and I want my experience points. a power book. Presumably is going to be able to boost the strength of our main damage dealers. But I'm going to store it for now. Those kind of items are probably pretty rare, and I am afraid of wasting it on the wrong character. So let's go to storage, store goods, and anything particularly rare. The power book, the intelligence book, and the other ones I think we're going to keep. There's a good chance that we're going to need the ice mist in the battle ahead, since I'm guessing it's going to be a big ice-themed or water-themed character. Power book and intelligence book, good enough for me. Let's store them. Check anything else. Nothing else. Okay. We might be ending up purchasing an item that increases our TP or health, so we are going to purchase first. Let's go to weapons. A new sword, 173, up from 125. That is a huge group increase. We're basically skipping it right past this one and getting you. Let's equip it for sure. Then the hoplite. Actually the exact same amount of attack. Pretty interesting. But I think we got a new lance. The long spear. Funnily enough, it is worse. Apparently. So no need to worry about it too much. And we don't have the gunner on our team. So, I guess the other question is, do we have anyone else who can wield the Baydana? And we do. They are currently on a rapier. So 156 versus 125. And the Baydana comes with a hit point boost and 2 additional slots for upgrades. Definitely seems worthy of being purchased. Moving on, we get some new armor. The Lorica, I'm pretty sure, is actually pretty bad. Yeah, it is indeed lower. But we do also have double mail. Just about everybody is able to equip it. And it's a plus 40 defense item. So that's plus 7 for the hoplite. We'll go for it. And then I think once we get to everybody else who are wearing weaker armors, it's going to be huge. 95 to 111. Nearly a 20-point boost. 59 to 74. And then 107 to 114. That is only 7 points. So maybe it's not worth 5 sets of it. But I am going to purchase it for anyone in the front row. And I mean, if we are going... And yeah, I am down to 4,500. I may need that to forge weapons, accessories, arm guard, and stun guard. I don't know if the boss is going to have specifically these kind of things. So I don't think it's worth going for specifically. Like, if I knew we were about to fight a fire boss, then sure, I could go ahead and equip some fire talismans. But there's just no way to know for sure. Unless I looked it up. But I don't really want to do that. Items. Pretty sure we do want to find ourselves a copy of the revival item. And maybe a healing item as well. If our main healer, Sora, takes damage, we'll be able to use the Medica to get him back to full health. And then everybody else will heal from that. So that seems good. Then we head over to the sell menu. We just replaced a bunch of items, and everybody has double mail or 3/4 armor. And then we just upgraded 2 different things, so we can go ahead and recoup some of our money spent by selling the previous items. We definitely want to keep this around. Meat is more of an adventuring item, but if the boss fight is long, we might end up using one. Then we have the Ice Mist, a couple of healing items. All stuff we are planning to use during the fight. So I think we are upgraded about as much as we can. All we need to do is go into the forge. And we can only upgrade one of the 2 Baidanas. How do I tell which one is equipped to which player? Oh, it says it on the bottom. Minerva is the main attacker. So I suppose that is the one we would want to boost up. But again, I don't know what to do. I could add in an affinity. And I would have to just like assume that the boss is weak to lightning because we're in a water cavern. But I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I could look it up. It says they are weak to fire. So if I add in a fire affinity, that should help out a fair amount. Let's go ahead and forge that on here. And then we can also boost the stalk cutter. But we already put on the blind, which I think is definitely the right play. And then we just rest to heal up our HP. I mean, we did spend some chop resources, so I think we want to spend until morning, just recovering it one more time. Then our final moment of preparation is going to be assigning those skill points. Which I do not do from the thing labeled skills. It is from custom. Skill, we have 1 point for Minerva. We gotta increase our attack with Endless Battle, but I'm guessing putting anything into a normal, skill is better. We'll level Blade Wave and Charge evenly. Charge, obviously works with any of our skills. So if there's a ton of enemies, we can always use Rampage instead. And the charge will still be effective. Eclipse, as I mentioned, I kind of want to save up the skill points until we reach all the way up to 30. Or up to 10, I mean. And then if there's a big boss in whatever stratum I'm in, I will be able to choose the appropriate wall. So we're not going to invest anymore on this. We already have plenty of defense, and we have the Line Guard, the Bodyguard, and the Provoke. Oira, I might go for Double Crop. For grabbing even more items as I delve into the dungeon. But I think the rare items are probably what I wanted to go for first. I only have those 60 inventory slots anyway. So I want to make them as good as I can. But that does remind me. After this, I do need to go grab an item from the storage, which I'm going to use on the boss. Once I can, if I'm able to land it properly. But first up is Sora. And we can either choose to buff something like firearms. No, but it only increases the fire resistance. It doesn't increase the fire damage. I could also increase attack order to be worth more points. Or a higher amount of damage, I mean. Though, I do still think maybe Nobility Proof is the best option. Just getting even more TP so I can endlessly fight. Oh, Inspire's able to recover my allies' TP. That's actually really useful. Kind kind of like investing. But if it's only 1 point, then it's not really going to be worth it. So I wish it told me what these actually did. Inspire. It doesn't tell me. Okay. I don't want to sit here in the menus all day. So how about we just max out, or we can increase our nobility proof a little bit more. And then drop 1 on royal lineage. Just decreasing how much it costs for me to buff myself. Or I can increase the power of guard order. And I think my issue has been more on taking too much damage from those random huge attacks. So I could definitely see this being the right move. Let's go with this. And then finally Valkyrie. Still not entirely sure where to go with this. I do have the firearms to give me oh, I could also do more accuracy, but I haven't been missing all that often. So let's think. If I'm gonna go for multi-shot, I mean, that's probably pretty useful. So I need some amount of armor piercer anyway. Even if front mortar ends up being a more powerful skill later on. I am probably planning on keeping this arbalist in the back row. Okay, let's go with a point in armor piercer. And we are ready to fight. This should be everything. We go to the inn, and we're just going to retrieve 1 item from the inn. We'll do 1 more save now that everything has been set up properly. And actually, one last thing. Formation. We're going to put our farmer back into the back row. So we need Eclipse, who we made as we realized we needed a tank later in the playthrough. That's why my tank is a level lower than everybody else. So let's go ahead and see if we can't make it all the way down this time. I believe in us. 5th floor. Travel across. And then we eventually come across a mining point. And it's right next to the place that we need to go to anyway. So I don't mind taking a 1-step detour. We don't get anything too crazy, and I accidentally turned the wrong way afterwards. We are blindsided, but we are saving all of our resources for the boss, which means we are going to be swinging over with auto attacks, especially on the 1st floor. If we run into a ton of those dangerous seeming turtle things, we are simply going to escape. Rather than commit to the fights. I don't want to be spending all of my TP right before the big boss. And that's part of why I chose the Sovereign over a more traditional healing class. I wanted to make sure I was able to explore the dungeon for as long as I needed. Monsters appeared. Let's go ahead and wipe them out. And everybody ends the fight at full. Fantastic. Descending to the next floor. I will say there are way more enemies weak to fire than I would have expected for a water biome. Like, them resisting the water makes sense too. But fire is the one I would expect it to be weak to lightning, resist fire, resist ice. But in any case, let's see if we can't deal with the boss of this realm. Down to floor 7. And then we have to find the fastest path to floor 8, which I'm pretty sure is this way. I'm pretty sure I managed to link everything together with my most recent delving onto the 8th floor. There should be some connection towards the boss room. No. Apparently I was incorrect. But maybe I also just missed something. No, I don't think I did. I think this is actually just a full dead end. So let's go down a different staircase instead. No problem. Head over this way, and then this way, and we go to the chop point. Another small 3-square detour. And a quick high walrus is taken down. Looks like that's actually the one I already mined. So, no problem. Oh, oddly enough, it looks like there's a path I haven't gone down this way. I'm gonna guess there's a boss sitting here. No. I've just somehow missed this path the entire time. I mean, there is a boss here, after all. So I do have to go around, but that would have saved a bit of time had I been able to go through it. It looks like it does connect to the staircase. Just barely too much inconvenience for me. I might actually be able to defeat the monster there by this point. I have gained a ton of levels since entering the stratum. But I don't want to do a dedicated fight right before the boss. Another walrus taken down. I don't think I need these muscled arms for anything, though. It's just a little bit more money and experience along the way. Alright, here we are, floor number 8. We're going here, and then we're going this way, and up. And we should be getting pretty close to the boss. I actually don't know what happens in case of a game over. I have been close, but I have not had a party wipe yet. Okay, and Minerva is actually taking a ton of damage in this fight right before the boss. Which means we're going to be stuck walking around like a little idiot. What is going on? I mean, at this point, I've come so far, I want to beat them up just to punish them. Oh, but I probably should have had Eclipse use some kind of defensive attack. Oh, it's because of the menacing glare. That makes a lot of sense. Fortunately, we are going to be able to take them down. So, with Sora at full health, our party might actually not be looking all too shabby. Let's just walk around in a circle a bit. We will absolutely be running from whatever the fight is. But we need to heal up. And I don't want to use any of those medicas or other items that I had prepared specifically for the battle. Okay. And yeah, it's a turtle. Absolutely, we are just going to escape. A preemptive attack is not enough to lure me into this battle. Somehow, even though we have the advantage, it takes us 3 members in order to successfully flee the fight. But that is fine. We are slowly recovering as we walk back and forth. 175. Solid progress. Alright, and here's the next battle. A ton of starfish. It's really tempting to kill all of them. With some big AoE attacks, but I am not going to spend it on this. Looks like they are pairing up for a combo attack, but fortunately we are able to escape before they unleash it and ruin all of our progress. So let's keep it up. 211, we are almost there. I think it's going to be one more combat, as long as we're able to flee from this one. But a blind side is going to ruin everything we've just worked for. They readied up a big attack and are dealing damage to everybody. That is rough. We escaped the battle, but with everyone injured, things are potentially not really any better than they were beforehand. I mean, I'd rather everybody take a little bit of damage than one player take a ton, as it means the Sovereign is at least able to heal them up before the fight ends. Sora takes another hit, but as you can see, everybody is a little bit healthier now. As long as we're able to flee before any big attacks come in. Maybe I do need to just go in and do the fight. I'll wait until the encounter measurer turns red again. Orange. And actually, Sora needs to make... I need Sora at full. That one is not negotiable. Alright, we are down just a little bit. But let's go ahead, open the menu, make a quick save, just in case anything disastrous happens. And now we enter the room. It's a big whale. Ba-ba-bum. So I don't think this is the Abyssal King. I'm pretty sure this is, like, one of their minions. And they'd rather have them kill me instead of Olympia for some undefined reason. So we're going to go ahead and activate Charge. Then, Provoke first. After this, Farmer doesn't do anything but try to blind. Heavy shots can go in. And we will guard order first, for sure. We want to make sure we are protected. If we manage to get all of our buffs online, I will go ahead and try for, enchanting Valkyrie's weapon as well. But for now, we are going to set up our guard order. And then we're going to set up the attack orders afterwards. Ocean Rave misses. That is great. It misses all 5 members. I would have been very upset if it ended up hitting exactly Sora and nobody else. Then they want to boost up an attack order. But I'll put it on the back row. Because I want to use attack order on the front row in time with Minerva actually swinging. Ocean Wave going again. Seems very inaccurate though. I didn't do any particular evasion themed strategies. So it's just being maybe a little bit lucky for me. And maybe I should be using Fire Barrage if we know they are weak to fire. I haven't been checking how much the other attack does though. In any case, attack order up on Minerva is going to be helpful. As you can see, that is a 300 damage attack, thanks to the charge and the attack order and the fire enhancement. Things are going pretty well. But I'm gonna guess once this Ocean Wave hits somebody, it is very deadly. That's the only thing I can really assume. But we're gonna go for a Provoke, swing in, get in some Fire Barrage, and reset the guard order. Maybe I should have tried getting the material to enchant Valkyrie's weapon. Oh, but here comes an invasion increase. Though I think we've actually been hitting anyway. Though perhaps that is just luck. Provoke is up, so I'm good to just start swinging with these. Though I think maybe I do want to bring Oira up to the front row. I'm going to do that next turn after we've set up the guard order. Here goes Blade Wave, misses, but gets in for 200 anyway. Now, back on the first stratum. When we got the boss to halfway, it kind of reset the battle on us. And I'm not sure if it's going to do that again or not. 3 and 14, we have exactly enough for one more rotation of this. Provoke is still up. So let's swing in. Oh, let's move you up to the front. Oh, I can only do switching with another player. I can't actually fill in the empty slot. That's unfortunate. I will keep going for Fire Barrages then. And do I want to spend money or spend turns on attack order for the back row? I think instead Fire is going to be worth more because it turns on the weakness. Oh, it actually hits with whatever this is now. Oh, and it's actually dodging as well. Fortunately, we are able to heal, but it is our final Blade Wave. And it's time to restore the attack order. That is a ton of damage. Maybe I need to protect Valkyria with Eclipse for a turn. Skills, I think Valk is done. Down to just auto-attacking. But until they are able to heal up a little bit more, we are going to use Bodyguard with Eclipse. Let's recycle the guard order. I'm pretty sure that is what wore off. I was correct. Alright, only 36 is not too bad. Oh, I actually have an idea. We are going to use one of the items I have with me. If we use an Amrita, on Minerva. We go up 1 turn for an otherwise pretty impressive ability to continue charge attacking. Let's see, attack and guard orders are up, which means it's time to set up the guard order for the back row. And Minerva is actually at full TP again, which means it's time to start unleashing the combo once more. We're going to go ahead for a provoke, and then I can actually use another one on Valkyrie. But I am going to wait a turn just in case. Alright, attack orders and guard orders are up, and that means it is time for firearm. Melody. Actually trying to put us all to sleep. And Sora falls. That could be an issue. Obviously, buffing, pretty important. Fortunately, we do have charge plus the firearms are up, which means we can actually go for heavy shot. But without the attack order, Minerva is dealing way less damage, and Eclipse isn't able to use Bodyguard or Provoke. Ocean Wave coming in, and it's hitting the asleep members of the team, which means Sora is going to be losing health here. Could be an issue. I'm going to use my Medica to heal Solar. Keep up with the heavy shots, and let's set up the guard order first. Alright, looks like we have all dodged the attack once again. And we use charge, which means it's time to Blade Rave. Provoke is up. Everybody else can start swinging in, no problem. Unfortunately, we take a huge hit there. But our guard order is up, so that should be good. I'm pretty sure we're able to take another hit, no problem. So let's keep attacking. It's in the red now. We are in the home stretch. Go in with a Fire Barrage, and then guard order for the back row. And once it gets super low, we are going to have we're going to attempt to use a Formaldehyde, which is an item capable of guaranteeing we get the rare drops. Normally you'd have to defeat this monster in a singular turn in order to get whatever item it gives us. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do that anytime soon. So by using this item, we'll be able to find a really rare item relatively early in the game. Guard orders and attack orders are online. Which I think means we're actually going to go back to Heavy Shot. And put the firearms on Valkyrie. Melody attempts to put us to sleep. Hopefully we are able to dodge like before. It actually managed to affect the exact same two members as last time, which is pretty interesting to me. We were able to get the firearms online, so we're going for the heavy shot. I'm going to expect they go for the attack that deals a ton of damage to our sleeping members. Yeah, Eclipse goes way down to just 24 hit points. I can't tell if we are quite at the point of beating it. We're gonna go for one more set here. Oh, the guard order wore off, which is why it dealt so much damage. I think we do need to actually just defend with that. Then we use the Medica. We'll go for a heavy shot. And we are going to set up the guard order. Might be just enough to keep Eclipse alive. Heavy shot inflicts some big damage. Alright, our team hopefully dodging. Not going to sleep. Nice work. And now we have concentrated. Time for our final Blade Rave. Oh, but we should also use our limit attack. I'm trying to finish the game this turn. Blade Rave. An attack from you. Let's use the Formaldehyde. If we manage to win the fight on this attack, we get a huge reward. So we're also going to use the charge tactic. And a heavy shot. And hopefully the cross slash doesn't kill it before we use the Formaldehyde. Oh no! We weren't able to do it. I'm not going to redo it the whole battle. We just didn't get the secret special drop. But I mean, I don't think if we weren't able to go, presumably, we are not going to lose the Formaldehyde either. And I can try it on a future big boss. And apparently we are able to go to the Deep City. Wait, I thought the Abyssal King was the one talking to us. Was I incorrect? I want to make sure I just have everything mapped out properly here. My team is pretty much ready to go, and I don't want to have to come all the way back here. So even though it said I might want to go to Armor Road first, I don't think I will. I'm going to definitely head straight on. Our team is at full health. No reason not to. Despite taking a really long time to beat the boss, I didn't feel particularly threatened very often. A pretty odd boss battle. I think it spent several turns using its Blade Rave thing without having any of my party members afflicted by a status condition, which is why it was always missing. It just, like, literally wasn't capable of doing anything. Is there really no secret exit here? Very well. Let's just proceed. Open. And then we see the staircase, so we're definitely going to take the other route first. And we get a fancy treasure chest. The star key is actually for this level. Which is interesting. I definitely wasn't expecting it to be here. I thought for sure we'd get the moon one first, is kind of what I was thinking. Because the crescent moon is on floor number 1. But instead of going straight for the star door, I think I am instead going to opt for trying to get through to the story. Items. And we have just barely enough. This thing is weak to fire. So I don't mind just going in on it. Iron Turtle. And then our non-fire will be elsewhere. we can Ice Barrage and just start swinging in. It's not going to be a ton, but we just took out a much more difficult battle. I'm pretty confident we aren't going to die to this thing anymore. Ice Barrage going in for pretty solid damage. The Rock Corals managed to survive for 1 additional turn. Iron Turtle defends, but that just really gives us more time to beat at it. I want to blind it if I can. Though I should probably also try to clear out these Rock Corals before they deal too much random damage. Ice Flurry is actually still pretty threatening, huh? Let's go ahead and Rampage. Hit everybody, and then we can focus our attacks on the other monster. Wait, that's not what I meant. Okay, fortunately Rampage goes first and wipes out the Rock Corals for me. So my misclick is going to be redirected towards the turtle anyway. Alright, and not quite enough. And Sora actually goes down. Hopefully we have a Nectar still. And we can go ahead and use it. I want to make sure Sora is getting the HP for the fight. We get a little bit of experience points. And then here we are. Open the map. Place the door. And descend. And there it is, the Deep City. And this is the original Yggdrasil. So Olympia, I suppose, is an adventure from the Deep City themselves. Oh, apparently they are, a robot. I wasn't expecting that at all. Since we are here, I actually want to take a minute to go and get some water. I figured we did the big boss. I will be back in just a minute. And we are back, learning that there are incredibly powerful robot elf-looking things. Okay. Interesting. I feel like I probably should agree to this, even though Olympia did try to kill me. So we should promise not to tell them about it. Something softer and more emotional than before. Alright, and I'm going to learn about how to teleport to Armor Road, presumably. So magnetic pole here, and go straight to Armor Road. Tell them that the thing doesn't exist. But I did find it. Oh, but we have it teleported right back. Okay. What should we do? I want to make sure, I mean, this might be like a split decision point for potential ending. But I feel like I need to report I've found it in order to continue the game anyway. So we should probably report the results here. Door to the Deep City. I mean, I did. I did indeed find the city. I mean, I don't plan on telling them about the robot people or anything else. I did find the city. Okay. Oh, apparently there's another super old person. Fetching the princess and tell her about the Deep City. And, oh, okay, and here is the princess. Princess of Armor Road, Gutroon. Sure thing. So they don't seem to be invading, which is good. Supervisor from Napier's firm. So we're guiding them to the Deep City. Obtained princess's letter. And we get some gold. Perfect. And we get a ton of experience points. It looks like everybody leveled up, I think. No available missions. Report results. No. Let's go ahead and report the items. See what things we learn about the bosses we were able to beat. Blood and Beast. Okay. 1274. I want to know how that compares to the turtle. It's just a much bulkier, more powerful version of it. Kind of like we expected. But also I need to go blow my nose. I will be right back. We are back. So this had 4,700 HP. We did miss out on a special item, but it is what it is. Definitely not repeating the entire boss fight for that. Let's talk to them. Found the deep city. Leave the letter and offerings. So now we are trying to reach the deep city again. But before we do all of that, of course, we are here to sell our items, including the whale fumarole that we finished, or that we got from our new boss. Ocean gun and parade armor are the items we're able to construct using it. We did indeed keep the formaldehyde, but we lost our nectar. So before anything else, we are definitely purchasing 1 nectar and 1 medica, just to have a little bit of insurance as we navigate the dungeon. Then let's go over to weapons. Ocean gun, not usable by any class other than the buccaneer, which we don't have. The double mail, kind of like I was saying, immediately being outclassed by the new parade armor. Fortunately, it is not by much. So by being a little bit patient, the parade armor can be purchased. And then when we go to the equip screen, we can use the final double mail on, or we can get rid of the final 3/4 armor. Then we can go sell it, get a bit of a refund. Alright, have a great night, or morning, or afternoon, June Ryusei. Assuming I'm reading the kanji right. Thank you so much for joining. We probably are actually finishing ourselves relatively soon. We want to rest and heal everything. Get back those TP. Stay until the morning. And then skills, we definitely did unlock some additional points. Whenever at 2 more. Doing 2 levels of Blade Rave does give us the chance to have it hit 4 times. But it also then would cost 3 additional TP. Whereas upgrading this twice is only 2 additional TP. So I'm thinking the charge might be better. Eclipse, like I said, we're keeping until we get 10 points. And need to use it on one of the walls. Here we are able to just go for the level 7 keen nose. Get more rare items more consistently. And then, as always, I'm kind of at a loss with what to build on Valkyrie. Barrages for AoE sound pretty fun. But presumably, multi-shot is able to do something similar for us. And bosses are probably one big thing that I want to take down. And I can always put an element on the weapon. I guess maybe we do actually build up front mortar. And we can put the farmer over in the back row for a little bit. So we're also at 2 points. But even in that long fight, we did not have any issues with TP recovery. So I think we want to just max out the Royal Veil. Or increase the effect of the Guard Order. So But this one is a passive, which means it's not going to cost anything more to do it. So we're going to go with 1 point in Royal Vale. And then we've also run into a few situations, where I think a 3rd point in Monarch March would be quite helpful. So we're going to go with that, and then we are good to go. And I'm pretty sure that was all 5 of them. So we've set up our gear, we've set up our skill points. The other thing to do is check if any new quests are available, but there are not, which means it's time to head right back into the Stratum. Oh, or maybe I'll be able to go to the Deep City directly. And the Labyrinth, or just go straight to Deep City. Understandable. Olympia is taking us to the king. Perfect. Oh, they are pretty cute. I kind of like that. Are they like little astrologers? I don't know why I wouldn't do that. So they are trying to defeat the deep ones. So maybe Armor Road and the Deep City will be teaming up to handle whatever's on the 3rd stratum. Alright, new mission area. Oh, I actually just, spent money healing. I guess I didn't need to do that. Alright, so some explorers are going to be allowed. Another request depends on my skills. New mission is available. Accept mission. Lurking in the abyss. Sworn enemies to mankind. Understanding is easier if we see it ourselves. The labyrinth extends beyond the deep city. A prison on the 10th floor. The Hall of Conviction. The Deep One is in prison there, and once we talk to it, he will explain his own intentions. Interesting. Devised to combat the Deep Ones and heightens humans' combat effectiveness. Oh, so we are unlocking subclasses. Select set subclass from the menu to see the details. We should probably do that. So are we able to change the subclass later on? I wonder. What would be a good subclass? Well, I do remember the ninja. Had some TP reduction themed skills. So maybe then I'd be able to do that. Oh, but no, that's their class skill. Being able to create a clone. And then hopefully we spend half the HP and then it comes back after the Sovereign heals us up. But I'm looking for something that can just recover our TP. Reflexes kind of sounds like it takes a ton of skill points to unlock. And it requires us to still dodge and attack first. So probably not the ninja then. Courageous and strong. Gladiators. Gladiators would let me charge again. But we already have a Sovereign and a Gladiator and a Hoplite in the party. So I'm kind of looking at Buccaneer, Ninja, Monk, Zodiac, and Wildling. I'm trying to figure out which one goes best with each. Plus when it says the class skills are often the utility element you want to subclass for. Sometimes it feels like you're supposed to develop the characters in reverse. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to look for. This is my first time playing through an Etrian Odyssey. I was saying you do have a little bit more experience than I do. Etheric Return. Recover TP when defeating an enemy. That could be good. I'm guessing Dark Ether only lasts for a single turn. And I want to be boosting myself. So that's not really quite what I'm looking for. I could put this on the farmer though. Turn the farmer into a support. Currently they're not able to do just about anything. But if they're able to just click at the front line and constantly cast Dark Ether, that could be pretty good. Alternatively, I could invest in the Fire Up, Ice Up, or Volt Up, and then actually have the Arbalist Barrage stuff. So, okay. That is one option. What does Wildling do? Summoning Beast. Probably not what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for a secondary class, I'm here for the passives. Because I have a main class for all of those. Okay, so Wildling is an awful subclass. Everything is all about summoning the insects. Or whatever is actually good here. Beast 4, and these are all activated. Reducing the chance of being ambushed doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, so the farmer, I think, is the one I need to think of first. And I think the main two options are either... well, okay, so I'm assuming the farmer is going to have awful combat stats. Basically, whatever I do. So I'm looking at these things, and I see I could turn it into a Dark Ether bot. Basically, put the farmer and the Sovereign in the back row, and just fire off no TP front mortars from the Arbalist. And charge and blade slashes, etc. I'm liking this as an option. But I could also put the Zodiac on the Arbalist to increase the elemental damage. So I'm seeing if there's anything else interesting. If I want the other option, I think, is probably going to be going Monk. And then the Farmer is going to be able to heal and resurrect people. Basically, instead of clicking the auto attack every turn, if I'm able to actually heal everybody, that seems way better than doing nothing. But I feel like the Dark Ether is probably the better option. But then the question is, what kind of passives do we get here? Walking Chakra. These are all skills. And what do these do? Recover upon death. I don't plan on dying. So I think the Farmer has to go with Monk. Just because I don't think anybody else is going to really make sense with a passive of just curing status ailments. So let's set subclass for the Farmer first. And I'm going to go with, well, actually, what does Buccaneer do? I haven't looked at him yet at all. Normal attacks can strike multiple times. I don't think I really want to just use normal attacks, though. That doesn't sound very strong. Okay. Lowers physical defense. Increases crit rate. Limit gauge increase. So, I'm pretty sure the Gladiator is just gonna go in on this. But the ninja, okay, so Farmer with Monk to offer healing. Am I able to change it? I cannot. Okay. So I do need to actually think things through. I have a big damage dealer. So I want something that lets them deal more damage. I mean, oh, I bet, combining the parries with concealment would actually be pretty fun. Basically just have a tank that is both an evade tank and a, physical tank. Oh, and we also get random beheading option. I don't know if we get full skill points for the subclass as well, or if we need to split between the subclass and the main class. I think the ninja makes a lot of sense for my defensive character. Basically just going in for a passive evade. So let's do that. Set subclass. Well, actually, Sora could also really appreciate dodging. Because I need to keep you at full HP. To be viable. Threatens enemies, lowering defense. But these are all active. Also, aren't I supposed to unlock a new class, like, halfway through the game? What if I need to make new characters? I mean, maybe I don't need to worry about it too much because I'm going to have to make new characters later on anyway. So we're gonna go for the evade tank. Ninja. Here. Set subclass. Arbalist. Going for Zodiac. And I can buff up one of my elemental barrages. Then Minerva. Grabbing Buccaneer. Because they are just a regular good old damage dealer. As far as I can tell. Welcome, Pen Mason. Hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, or evening. Yeah, I will go with Buccaneer for our damage dealer. And that leaves all of these are in the party. Except for the Wildling. Unless I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I'm gonna pass her now because the Wildling doesn't offer anything, from what I can tell, as a subclass. So I'll see if I unlock something else later in the game. Like, maybe the robot thing that we just learned about. And yes, this is my first time playing anything in the genre. The closest thing I could probably say is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Which obviously is a little bit different. Well, actually, there was some random Japanese game I played that is pretty similar to this. But it was probably just shamelessly stealing the concepts from this game. Like, it was literally just called, like, get weapons and armor to progress through the dungeon. Very on-the-nose naming. So, wait, what was that last part? Free to do as we wish. Okay. We accepted the mission. So we'll leave here. Oh, and, the skin flint, yes. Okay. So we get a new, armor weapon shop, but it's gonna have all the same things. Oh, but we are missing something here. There are a few other things in the main city for sure. Let's go to the Twinkling Tavern, see if there is any. Oh wait, this isn't where we get the quests, so we can leave. Oh, that's what we're missing. We are missing the quest area. So maybe we go back to Armor Road and see if there's anything new. Is there anything to report? No. I thought for sure that was going to trigger something. Go back to the Deep City and observe what we can. Okay, so I think we just need to actually just, head into the dungeon again. Wait, but this is so far back. I don't think that can be right. Maybe I need to talk to more people. Wait, so she just is able to remove memories. That seems pretty strong. Why do they not currently do that? Instead of, killing all of the explorers looking for the city. Why not just wipe their memories? Alright, so... looks like it is exactly the same. Do I have a quest? I need book. No. But they told me to go to floor 10. Do I really have to explore all the way from floor 8 again? I don't even know how to get deeper than that. This was the deeper area. Presumably I should have a new stratum available. So I feel like I am missing something. Is there anyone else I'm supposed to talk to? Anyway, I missed out on the formaldehyde. So let's go ahead and store that. Oh, I should also check how the subclass works. Am I able to just assign skills? Oh, I got 5 skill points. But I don't get a ton of new options. Okay. So I actually have to think about how to manage all of this. Because I'm still setting up Charge and Blade Rave. But now I could also start working towards Swashbuckling. Or Eagle Eye. Or plus Crit. But I think before I do that, I am actually just going to ignore the subclasses and use all of the free skill points on my main combo, which is Charge into Blade Rave. And then let's see what else we have. We have the 10 points we were talking about. But we don't know which wall we're going to need. So I'm waiting until we come across a boss. Oiva, as a monk, I could finish up the key nose and double crop. But I think probably getting some actual active healing is going to be a good idea. Resurrect is something I am aiming to get to eventually. And Party Heal is also pretty good sounding. So we need to bring it up to, wait, full heal. Oh, but it costs 1 billion TP. That makes sense. Being TP if allies are defeated? No. Recover HP on myself. None of those are really all that useful. I might need Firewalk. I don't know what's going on. Wait, but it decreases damage rather than nullify damage. Presumably, I want to avoid trap floors entirely then. So we're going to do 2 points in healing to unlock these other options. Then, then I want to be able to resurrect in battle as well. And I won't need all the nectars anymore. So I want to focus on that before I go for the extra farmer themed items. Okay. We need level 2 unbind and also level 2 refresh. But we aren't quite there yet. Party heal, line heal. Probably will skip out on full heal for now. Because I'd rather be healing the whole group. Though it looks like we don't get very many of them. Huh. I'll spend more time on figuring out exactly what to do later. Okay, so we have Zodiac now. Which means I kind of want to redo this a little. Because I'm thinking, I actually need a ton of skill points before I can even use... I thought I was going to get more skill points onto this. So, I don't actually... I'm going to need, like, 15 points in order to actually use these barrages. But the fire-ups are useful. Probably. I probably need to go all in on one of the 3 elements. But I don't know what the next boss is going to be. Once I actually make it into the stratum, I will figure it out and then be good to go. And then I didn't subclass Sora, so I don't get any of the skill points yet. But that is fine with me. I just want to be able to get to the next floor. Um. So that was everything. Oh, and now we do, I don't know what changed, but now we do actually have the third stratum. Maybe I can only get there from the deep city itself. And it's molten caves. So obviously I think we are going to be going for that fire resistance on the hoplite. Let's see how the stratum treats us. Oh, there's actually something here. Gonna start cataloging right away. Also, I really like the stratum's music. Oh, those must be the trap tiles. So let's go ahead and mark them. Magma, I'll make them a different color. Okay, that's pretty dangerous. And that's the way back up. I need to make sure I mark that as well. Wait, but is that the only way to proceed? Maybe I should have gone for that reduction after all. Ow. How much is it? Okay, that's barely any damage at all. Oh, it actually, will make it as a different color for me anyway. Automatically. Wait, are these all trap tiles? No. This one is safe. Okay. Still pretty frustrating. And here's our first battle. Okay, it's literally an egg. Surely, we are able to just swing in. Wait, is the egg doing anything? I'm gonna ignore the egg. Though, maybe ignoring the egg causes, like, the big dragon to show up or something. It's pretty hard to know what's going to happen here. Oh, it wriggles around. Okay, so instead I need to actually focus hard on the egg. Otherwise, it's probably going to hatch into something. Very interesting. Fortunately, the dragon egg is down. We get an eggshell piece, which makes sense to me. And we can actually inspect 2 different ways. Right, that is good to know. This one is both directions. Oh, wrong one. Let's go here. And then we know there's another one on that side. Oh, this path was safe. Okay. Oh, but there's a mining point right here. And new materials are going to be super important for getting those new items. Flame fruit and strawberries. But none of the rare items yet. Oh, but we might be able to get one. Scarlet sage. I should definitely go ahead and mark that on the map. That was a take point. Fortunately, our party is actually still relatively healthy. I'm gonna guess largely due to the Sovereign getting in. And I'm just gonna wait until I see what the dragon eggs hatch into. Otherwise, I'm swinging in with auto attacks and not being worried about it. Dragon eggs are down. We are avoiding the damage. But, yeah, we're actually healing off most of the damage it deals, I think. So, I think we do just kind of keep going. Oh, there's a door here. It's kind of hard for me to tell what everything is. But I know I somehow completely missed the door. Door is behind us, and tent is in front. Tent areas, I believe, are devoid of monsters. So I am able to freely click around here and then unlock the transport without having to worry about getting into a fight. And it also heals me up a little bit as we traverse across these layers. Let's turn in, and presumably it will filter in on itself. Alright, and now we are healing 40 damage every turn. As long as we are able to avoid, oh, so the eggshell, these both have rare drops. But I don't know what would trigger either of them. Maybe if I head back to the bar, I'll be able to get, information from the other guy. They tend to tell us a little bit more about things. That's mostly how I've been learning about the conditional drops so far. I'll go north. Hostile Rattle Nozoshi. Is there, like, quake damage? Alright, we got a couple of red iron chips. Well, actually thinking about it, those starfish were, the starfish were red, and you made a drop with fire. So maybe the rattles need lightning. Lowest point of the deep city, and then there's a cavern up ahead, connected to the abyss. Struggle against monsters and the intense heat of the volcano. There should be nothing to fear. And once we reach the 10th floor, we'll be good to go. Okay. And I would like to find another one of those lizards and try swinging in with volt damage when I get the chance. Put a door here. And there was also a door over this way. So I can get two out of the way at once. I will go the method that does not oh. So the first things I encountered was pretty threatening. So hopefully this one isn't as strong as that comparatively to my level. Rattle is low, so I want to bring in a Volt Barrage and see if that works the way I think it will. Rattle attacks. Farmer gets in for a little bit of damage. And hopefully that gives us whatever the rare drop is. Alright, Flame Link's down. Alright, and we actually did, so it was volt damage. That is great to know. Oh, there was a boss here. I was not ready for that at all. Blindsided and 72 and binding. Oh, and it actually hits the entire party. We are trying to get out of here immediately. We can't escape because our legs are bound. That is really bad. As all we can do is try our best to fight. Let's provoke. Oh, and use Unbind. It only works on one player, though, because we didn't invest enough to get the bonus. So, instead, let's offer some healing over to Sora. Then, oh, we forgot to go into the front line for Front Mortar. We'll use Heavy Shot instead. Skills, we can Guard Order the front line. Alright, 64 through a defend feels strong to me. Oh, but our heal is only 13 damage. That is nothing. And of course, we didn't actually really do any damage. Hopefully the bind wears off. In the meantime, I'm going to keep healing Sora. And I'll go in with, well, they are defending, so maybe this will armor piercing work on a defending enemy? I'm actually not sure. Guard order for the back row. Blade Wave hopefully gets in for a ton of damage. Only 2 hits. Oh, but we actually get the 4. Defense up. Worm crack. That's the thing that hits the whole party. And we're rebound. This was barely anything. Charge. Okay. What we're going to do is use Bodyguard on Sora. And we'll use our Medica to fully heal it. Then, with this, we'll be set. We can offer an attack order up to the front. And then the Medica is going to heal Sora. And then everybody else will get healed from Sora being back at full health. And that's kind of the plan here. We use another Blade Rave. And we keep Sora protected. We can unbind as well. Heavy shot again. And maybe we can actually prevent the bind with a protect order. Getting in 4 attacks is very strong. Alright, Worm Crack. Parry, nullifying the damage. Perfect. Defended, we only take 24. And we're cured from the bind. And we heal more damage. But this is taking a long time. We only have 1 bound member. Maybe we do just try to escape. We'll keep the bodyguard going. And everybody else is going to try to run away. With 4 shots, I feel like we have a pretty good chance. Alright, and we get out of there. We'll have to try it when we have more resources. Oh, there's actually a path this way. That is great to know. Let's go ahead. Oh, I misclicked. But that's fine. We have the trash can to remove it. We go back up here. And we don't have much choice but to go through this area. But it looks like we are now being chased immediately. So let's see where this takes us. As we have no choice but to go away from the monster. Seems like a pretty linear path. But if it gets us to the teleport point, then we don't mind. I don't know which way is going to be the correct one. But I'm going to go this way first. Get off of that, and we can start healing. Nope. Okay. We can't fight that. This time, let's focus on the Great Lynx now that we actually know how to deal with the lizard. We fought plenty of the lizards already, and they aren't that threatening. So as long as we are able to take out the lynx, the Rattle-Nosed Oshi is going to be no problem. Not quite enough to take it out. It just barely survived. Okay. We can swing in and probably just auto attack. Oh, but we were caught by the thing. I am stupid. We need to get out of there as soon as possible. Fortunately, they did not go for the bind. As long as one of our attempts is successful, we'll be okay. And where does it put us? I guess we are running from it this way. That looks like a dead end to me. So we're gonna go this way. Even if it doesn't seem great. we go over here and an inspection. Looks like there was a hidden room. Map, let's add the connection over to our log. Oh, but it's only a one-way. Interesting. Which means let's try this direction instead. This is a ton of damaging tiles in a row. Our party is not looking great. Wait, is that a dead end and fire blocks at the same time? It definitely leads somewhere. As expected. But then we get ambushed. But luckily we get the preemptive attack. Okay. We're going in on these guys. Well, actually, no, we have a preemptive. We can just auto attack and we're fine. Or maybe not. We took way more damage than I was expecting. And we don't even get any items for it. Right, and that is another one-way. Good to know. So then, is the other direction good then? No. That's where the boss is. So I'm kind of forced to go this way again. And then through here, and then try going up. But isn't this just going to lead to the exact same boss? No. Maybe not. Alright, new group of monsters. And I would kind of like to break through this thing. I'll definitely use Provoke, since we aren't getting one-hit kills on these guys anytime soon. Weak to ice, but resists ice. I mean, I think it's worth it. Let's go for the ice barrage. And swing in with everybody else. 64 is so much damage. Why is the Flame Lynx so strong? Ice barrage, not enough to take it out either. Again, really low. But not quite enough. We need a bodyguard for Minerva. And then just have everybody else swing in. Oh, but Minerva is faster. So we are able to win this barely. And we desperately need to stop running into these more abrasive tiles. If there are going to be trap tiles across the rest of the dungeon, then we might be in short order for... Oh. So it was just a trap. Okay. Refresh, unbind, none of those do anything in this situation. I think we're just going in again. Though I will actually drop a guard order to make sure our weakened allies aren't dying to the Flame Lynx. And it's a good thing we did. That probably would have ended up killing Minerva if we weren't a little bit more careful with it. Oh, welcome SG. I somehow completely missed your message from nearly 10 minutes ago. But it is nice to have you here. I do agree, the game has been pretty difficult so far. Well, it's kind of like it's like riding a wave. I have Sora with all that passive healing, which makes exploring the dungeon a breeze, once we've gotten a little bit of experience in it. Okay, my door was on the wrong spot. But every time we go to a new floor, the new monsters are a little bit tougher. And there might have even been a little bit of a difficulty spike, since we just entered a new stratum. And I'm supposed to be looking for new ways to upgrade my gear. So, this is not looking like a great path forward for me. So we're gonna try making our way back over to the camp. And then going down. Alright, the egg, fortunately, doesn't really do anything. But for some reason, the auto attack really wants to focus on it instead of the links right in front of us. Alright, Minerva, once again, barely hanging on, but getting through it just fine. I guess the question is, do I actually want to use the tent or not? What I would really like to do is make it to the teleport point and get out. I think that's going to be our goal for the day. It's just finding this thing. So it could be, that I'm supposed to go down into this zone and then leads over to the point. Or maybe I'm supposed to explore this way. It's hard to tell for sure. Both are filled to the brim with danger area. But we are going to heal as we walk around, so hopefully that isn't too bad. As long as we're able to find a nice patch of area to be safe on. Alright, and this is a pretty simple looking battle. Should be relatively safe. And then, everybody gets to heal up at the end of the battle thanks to Sora's passives. You know, I probably should be trying to get more of those exclusive items from those Rattle Nozushis. Because a lot of the time, you need like 3 of them in order to actually get the item. So that doesn't lead anywhere. Which is rough. So I'm pretty sure, we can actually take off the yellow that I had to put on. Because it's actually red. Oh, I guess I can just override the color. Okay. As we focus on the egg first. And then we'll put on Volt Arms and try to get the extra bonus item. Oh, it actually swung into the Minerva. That is rough. But not too big of a deal. We can go ahead and bodyguard them. And everybody else is more than high enough where I'm not really concerned. Let's go ahead and drop a Shock Arms on Minerva. And then we are going to finish off the egg this turn. Valkyrie is pretty strong, but not going to be one-shotting that thing at all. Let's just go ahead, defend with you, attack with you, and give you a Shock Arm as well. Wait, no, wait, did I use Bodyguard? I don't think I did. So hopefully this actually finishes it off. And we do. With a 166 critical hit. We get another red iron scale. And I'm more than happy to just ascend back up to the Deep City here. Let's go ahead and sell our goods. Plenty of new items. Hopefully the 2 red iron scales is enough to get whatever we're unlocking with it. Oh, Fire Mist and Ice Mist. Not super concerned about any of those. Wait, this is a ton of items. At first it didn't seem all that impressive, but then it started adding more and more to it. Though the kunai is just a dagger, don't think anybody really wants that. The farmer could, but no real incentive. Then Jolly Roger is a sovereign weapon, but we're not able to use it anyway. And this one is not even new. Okay. So then we get we get a new farming tool. To go from the stalk cutter. And that is actually such a huge increase. I might go for it. Especially if we are putting them in the front row. So initially I was thinking of, if I use Dark Ether, I could use Mortar Spam. But with the Zodiac being on the Arbalest itself, I think the Farmer Monk might not always be needing to heal people. So getting a good attack is worth it. And we'll put him on the front line. And this one is only for hoplites. Okay. It's not a huge increase. From the Sarisa. But it is probably worth doing anyway. Since there aren't any other weapons being unlocked here. So we can safely purchase it and grab a small attack boost. Hopefully we get a sword for the actual damage dealer soon. Looks like the red doublet is just flame tolerance. Oh, but it's actually not equipable by the Sovereign or Hoplite, which is really interesting. But it is worse than the double mail. 40 versus 34. Though obviously I can say Fire Boss or something. That would be pretty good. We see a new helmet to replace the Viking helm. Hoplite definitely is going to take advantage of this. Going for a full 10-point increase. And we have been struggling a little bit against some of these bosses. So I think going for the upgraded armor is worth it. But if I hold out, there might be something even better later on in the dungeon. Which is a fair consideration. Accessories, nothing else new. Items, a ton of new. Medora heals the whole row. So I don't need Medicas anymore. I can actually do Medoras instead. Heals HP. But the Hamau is probably fewer HP, but also recovers that TP. So I think I will buy one Medora as a safeguard. Then let's go ahead and try selling things. Grab some refunds. We don't need the ice mist anymore. We're in a huge fire dungeon. We have a revive, some HP recovery. I think we're good to go. Twinkling Tavern and heal us up. One more adventure into the dungeon should be enough to beat our... enter the labyrinth and then Molten Caves. Once we reach the magnetic pole, we are going to call it for the day. But who knows how long that is going to take. Fortunately, we actually have a ton of useful teleports right near the start. Getting us pretty close to where we actually were beforehand. Unfortunately, we are going to be forced to go through all of that. And as before, we can't go this way. Well, actually, maybe we can. It is 2 spaces away. Oh, and it's actually not following us yet. So let's see what this area has to offer. apart from all of the trap items. Looks like it does connect around. And as unfortunate as it is, this is looking like the path forward through a ton more magma. But it looks like we are looping up and potentially around to the submagnetic pole. A Stegosaurus. Definitely not at all something I was expecting to encounter here. Let's spend a turn being cautious. We'll charge up, activate provoke, throw in an attack or two, and guard order. And we'll just see what the Stegosaurus goes for. Like how much damage is it dealing? Also, I think it was weak to the attack. Okay, so it has a line attack. But we have the guard order. We charged. Let's Blade Rave and completely wipe this thing off the map. A big 3-attack Blade Rave. Which we are also going to be, hopefully upgrading to a guaranteed 4-strike soon. Alright, so it actually managed to survive the turn, but it is low. So we just do a couple more normal attacks, and we are done. We get a fin. Who knows what that's going to help us unlock. Oh, and it looks like this is going to be a path through. Oh, wait, no. It's an event. Wait, blue light. I feel like somebody else mentioned that not too long ago. Let's go ahead and make a note of it. Close enough. And we get out of the lava finally. Oh, and we are at another dead end. But maybe this one lets me go around. No. I am not seeing any secret passages featured here. So we are... No, I misclicked and we went the wrong way. I mean, the Stegosaurus was somewhat threatening, I feel like, with its full row attack. So we are going to go ahead and, I mean, I guess we are just kind of going in and removing the egg before it becomes a threat. But now that we've dealt with the Stegosaurus, we actually know it's weak to all 3 types of elemental magic. So we can go in with an Ice Barrage. And, guard order the front. And this should be good. Oh, and the Stegosaurus is defending. So we definitely want to focus on the Dragon Egg, which we are doing anyway. Off to a good start. We used Charge, so now it's time to Blade Rave. Obviously, Blade Rave is much better if it's only hitting one target. But I don't think we're quite at the point we're able to do that. So let's instead give it Shock Arms. Oh, but Sora is slower. Unfortunately. And 2 of them miss. That is a rough turn. I think I might need to give Minerva those accuracy boosting goggles so that this stops happening. But now I think we are at the point we are able to just kind of auto battle through it. We get a couple of items, perfect. And then this way. And hopefully I don't misclick anymore. And we are more or less there. This is where I was trying to reach. I didn't want to see if this is a 2-way passage or not. I'm going to be honest, it doesn't look that different to me. It's very hard to tell that this is actually a secret passage. And it is a two-way street, which means we are able to go here and one more fight to finish things off. Fair enough, I suppose. Focus on the egg with these. And then go in with Volt Barrages. Shock Arms on Minerva, so that the Blade Wave on the next turn will be lightning powered. And then we'll be able to get these special items by unleashing Volt Barrages and Blade Wave. That's the plan. Oh, but I don't have enough for Blade Rage. I'll go for Rampage. I think it'll still work just fine. We'll Shock Arms on the Eclipse as well, just in case something wacky happens. We see a big 279, and I'm pretty happy with that damage output. Enemy down. Unfortunately, even though we used a Shock Blade Wave, we didn't get a single item drop. Let's go ahead and return to the Deep City. And now it's just maintenance for the rest of the stream. Sell the items we collected, which was not very many at all. But it is enough to unlock a Bone Shield, apparently. I guess we will take a look at it. Bone Shield, about 10. Is it really worth 3,000 gold just to get a 10 defense increase? I'm not entirely convinced. But what I would like to do is take a look at Minerva. We are currently on purple leggings for the plus TP, and it's been coming in handy. But we keep missing, is what I'm trying to think. So do we want an aim guard, which is somewhere around here? Aim goggles. Do we want to give up everything that Aquaminance has to offer to guarantee we hit? Let's double check what the Aquaminance exactly are doing. It's 12 defense and strength, which, I mean, that's about 12% of our defense stat. And Minerva's constantly so low. Maybe what we want is to actually forge the weapon with accuracy. Unfortunately, we don't have the Abyssal Twigs we need for it. But I will keep in mind for next time. Okay, so apparently these are actually upgradable. Kind of expensive. So we're gonna head out and think about it after maybe when we reach the next floor. Let's recover. And that is gonna be it for us today. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. And join me for a game we don't normally play. I've been having a ton of fun with it.